It's Friday, and before we get down to making your weekend binge plans, hear us out on this one. Well, in recent years, the non-alcoholic beverage market in India has exploded, with consumers increasingly seeking alternatives to traditional alcoholic drinks. In fact, you must have noticed in your peer groups all around, right? So many more people have now started to ditch alcohol altogether. But as they move on to so-called healthy drinks, from what could be innovative cocktails and in fact mocktails in this case, health-focused options like kombucha, flavored sparkling waters, is it really good for you? Well, there is a growing awareness for wellness and lifestyle choices, but the beverages, as they gain in popularity, the question comes in, are they truly healthy? Let's talk about non-alcoholic beverages. They may look like the perfect solution to social drinking, but should you really make the switch? Because these drinks are marketed saying zero alcohol, zero harm, but is that really so? Mocktails often come loaded with added sugar and syrups. Excessive sugar, we all know by now, leads to weight gain, diabetes, dental issues, the whole host of problems really that sugar brings along with it. So even though if you're skipping alcohol, you may still be racking up unwanted calories. In fact, some studies suggest that introducing these drinks to teens and kids might be in fact, also opening the door in a way to real alcohol consumption later in life. They also might go on to mimic the taste and feel and even the branding of their the non-alcoholic counterparts, which experts believe could normalize alcohol use for younger generation. But hold on, we're not saying just because non-alcoholic drinks are bad, you should go back to alcohol. That's not what this story is all about. The issue that we'll discuss here today is to understand the good, bad and ugly of non-alcoholic drinks and how do you ensure what's actually good for you and in what quantity. So joining us today is Shweta Shah. She's a celebrity nutritionist and founder of Eat Fit 24/7, a digital platform for health tips and healthy recipes. Good morning, Shweta. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Perfect day, Friday, to talk about this story as all of us are, sort of building the stock in our fridges and making weekend plans as well. But let me start with a couple of drinks that are really on top of everybody's charts. And let me begin with something that I have been opting for very, often, which is kombucha. Traditionally it is known as a drink which is fermented tea, said to be very good for your gut as well. It comes in this very sleek bottle. So nobody questions, if you're out in a party saying, why aren't you drinking? You can just flash your bottle and, you can quietly have your sip. But what's wrong with kombucha and what's the good part of it, if you could break it down for us?
Yes, so kombucha is basically, as we all know, it's a trending probiotic drink, and definitely it is very good for your liver. It is good for your immunity. It is good for your gut, as well as it is packed with B vitamins and enzymes. But the problem is that there may be some risk of contamination if it is not correct, if it is not prepared correctly. And kombucha basically it also contains sugar because of the fermentation process. And many brands have started using more sugar to enhance the taste. So there is the problem because, they may use cane sugar, which is considered as a healthy sweetener. But if you are consuming cane sugar in a very huge amount because it contains fructose, it may lead to many metabolic issues. And so instead of supporting your gut, going to give you more gas and bloating. So I've always observed if you have too much of kombucha, maybe 3 bottles, 4 bottles in a week, then definitely it's a cause of bloating and gas.
I see. So check the content really. So look at the ingredients and opt for brands that are not giving in too much sugar, because the actual kombucha taste is actually not for everybody's palate. And now, because like anything, like makhana, so many MSG products, etc., get added to it. Everything that is good for you gets adulterated in some way. But let's move on to the next one and talk about ginger beer. It's, if you travel abroad in Europe, it's something that people actually make at home. It's very easy to make and again has great, benefits for the gut and for the body. But those available in the bottle, take us through the pros and cons.
Basically, ginger, as you all know, that it is very good for the digestion. So if it is home prepared, it's really excellent for the digestion. But if you are buying the outside commercial bottles, then definitely it is a cost, because again they contain a lot of sugar. So instead of ginger, the ginger might be just a little quantity, but the sugar which they might use agave, or they may again use the cane sugar, which we all know it's marketed as a natural sweetener. But definitely the more quantity you use, the more it is going to affect the body. So here the game the point is that you cannot use it in more quantity. That is the problem. If you're using in moderate quantity,
I
yes,
see.
but
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so if you're using in moderate quantity, yes, you can go ahead with it, but not in a huge quantity, because just because it's a ginger ale, you can't do it again and again and again. So you have to be very careful about what you're putting it into your system.
That's the overriding theme over here, right? Like whatever you're consuming, if it's coming out of a bottle and it's commercial, do check ingredients, and second, check on the quantity. But I have a different question for you, Shweta. Then a lot of people crave something bubbly, something like soda, which is not soda. So that is the reason why a lot of these sparkling wines, which are non-alcoholic, and and soda also, just flavored soda, which is now in the market. What's your take on that?
See, basically, these sodas are hydrating, they are, refreshing, and a good alternative to those sugary, fizzy drinks. But frankly speaking, it has got acid, so that if you consume more, then it's going to lead to dental erosion. And there is this carbonation. So definitely it is going to lead to more gas and bloating. And nowadays, people have started using sodium bicarbonate in it. So you may feel that it is a mineral rich drink, but sodium bicarbonate has adds up on the sodium, and that's the reason there is a very high blood pressure if you're consuming it, thinking that it is healthy and consuming it in your parties, and but that may increase your blood pressure, so you have to be very cautious while using it. So basically, while you are reading the
Okay.
labels, you have to go through the sodium content also.
I see. But Shweta, people listening to us right now will say, "To piye kya?" Matlab, if you're out and you want to just have a good time with your friends and you don't want to call a lot of attention by being the only non-alcoholic in the room, what do you do? What do you sip on? Because we're constantly telling them that, kombuchas don't cut it, ginger beer doesn't cut it, sparkling wines don't cut it. So what exactly is it then? What should you opt for?
Basically, yeah, basically, see, I'm not saying don't have these, they have their own pros and cons, but the only thing is that you have to stick to the quantity, right? Only one glass or maybe just half a glass is what you have to just hold and sit. And I have seen many people who are just holding that one glass with adding more of water in it and just standing. That's the healthiest way to actually go ahead with.
Are you saying fool the people around you and actually just keep sipping
Exactly.
water? That's your advice. That's not
Exactly.
going to
And this
keep
is
you
what
very popular
many.
amongst friends.
Yeah, and actually, many people are doing it, but we are not aware of it. And we're thinking that they are drinking, but trust me, we have to really be very smart enough to, stay healthy, and maybe because people will force you to have it, it is that. So it's a smart to have just water and just a little drink, and that's it. Enjoy it that way.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What is the quantity of, say, these carbonated drinks which are out in the market really good for you, or perhaps okay to have over a weekend? Is it one glass? Is it one can? Is it one bottle? How should one look at their quantity?
I would always advise to just stick to 150 to 200 ml of that comes up to just one glass for you to sustain the whole night. And only once in a week is what is the healthiest way to stick to it. So if you're having parties twice, then definitely you have to, say 75 to 100 ml is what is the healthiest way to sustain.
I see. And then what's your also quick note on energy drinks? Because they seem to be doing the rounds. We are surrounded in a world where we see even our sports stars and a lot of influencers, even health freaks sort of pump on healthy drinks, energy drinks, saying that, listen, I don't drink alcohol, but this is my vice. So how does one balance it out there?
No, I would not prefer those healthy drinks because instead of being healthy, obviously they give you a quick energy boost, but they are very high on sugar. So I would definitely not go ahead with those healthy drinks because they increase your heart rate. They lead to many metabolic issues and obviously attribute to the weight gain as well as there is a high sugar
Hmm.
spike. So not to
Hmm.
have the energy drinks because it might also lead to the kidney diseases. So it's stay away from the energy drinks. You may feel it is healthy, but not at
Right,
all. It is
right.
not at all healthy. Actually, you know what? When you're going through any drink, it is very important to go through three things, which is that, you should read the labels properly and see for the three things. That is the sodium content, the added preservatives, and the amount of sugar in it and the forms of sugar then because nowadays market is full as so instead of sugar they use agave or maybe the cane sugar which is very high in fructose. They also contain fructose corn syrup. So rather than getting swayed away by these buzzwords like healthy and organic and natural, it's very important to see the hidden ingredients in whichever drink you are selecting.
Right.
So don't get fooled by the marketing people, but it is very important to thoroughly read the labels and
Yeah.
just don't put anything in the system. Yeah.